Hey everybody, welcome to another Music Monday. I am so glad that you are here. You already know what I'm doing, don't you? Yep, I am sharing and I'm letting everybody know, guess what? Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide is on. Make sure you get your handheld, grab it now. I can see me down there at the bottom there, and I'm sharing. Tag, let everybody know we are here. We have an amazing guest tonight, and I already kind of had it like a quick interview, and I kind of had to stop it. I said, "Oh, I want to save that. Oh, let me write that down because she's so interesting. Just a sweet soul, and I love her personality already. I'm excited about introducing you to her. So, listen, do me a favor. I do see the comments are starting to pop up. Everybody, I promised you I will bring you on, let you ask any questions. And tonight, I have this thought maybe, just maybe, if you're prepared to come on with us, I may even bring you on the platform. I'm just thinking about it. I don't know. I love my UAR family. They are so supportive. And so I don't know that I'm going to do it. I'm thinking about it. But listen, come on in the room, share and let everybody else know that we're here. And please, while you're doing that, give an amazing applause to this amazing creative Andrea Lisa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. We are glad to have you on. It's an honor, as I said earlier, to have you on this platform. Um, I've listened all week to you, and I usually do that for all the artists who come on board. And I really, honestly, I'm not just stroking you. I think all of them are my favorites on that
Um,
CD, on the new
thank,
CD. Yeah, yeah. So yes, everybody's coming in, and I do want to introduce you to the family. They're going to pop some statements and comments and um, some hearts, and they may have questions, and we'll get to that as we delve into the interview a little later on in the show. So, you are where? Tell everybody exactly where you are right now. They're not going to believe this.
I'm currently in Perth, Australia, Western Australia.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is like a whole day's difference.
yeah. The 30th of July out here, not the 29th. So Tuesday.
Whoa. It is Tuesday there and it is Monday here. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So talk about that. What brings you or what has brought you out to Australia? Tell us.
So since the 12th of July, I've been doing my album launch. So I played Auckland, New Zealand. That's where I'm from.
Got it.
And then I did Melbourne, and Sydney and Brisbane, and then Perth. We did 2 shows in Perth. So just been doing this album release tour
Oh
before I
my
head back
goodness.
over to LA.
Exactly. So you're living in LA, is that right?
Yeah, I live in LA.
Yeah. So you were born in South Africa. Hmm.
Correct. Yeah.
That's exciting. Do you find that exciting? Or is it just
I,
me?
it's very interesting because people usually are like very confused about my accent because it's kind of 50-50 because I was raised in New Zealand.
Ah, got it.
So, yeah, born in South Africa, raised in New Zealand, and now in LA
Now you're
for
in.
soon to be 6 years.
Ooh, so how are you adjusting to LA, the life in LA? How do you like it?
Oh yeah, I'm already used to it. Yeah, it
Wow.
feels like home to me now.
Does it really? Wow.
Yeah,
Did it take some getting used to, Andrea?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Mm,
probably just adjusting to the culture and different people.
sure.
And everyone out there is like really, everyone's doing something.
It's true. That's true. Absolutely. Well, I want to ask you a question. Let's dive into the interview right quick. And I have so many questions. And I know I'm not going to get through all of them, but we're going to try as much as we can. Um, as a performer and you love music, it is apparent that you're passionate about what you do. Can you remember dreaming about performing or being on stage as a little girl? Did you ever have dreams like that?
I did actually.
Did
Um,
you?
yeah, when I was actually quite shy as a child, but I did used to stand on the couch with a brush and sing.
Oh,
I did. I did. I didn't start playing the guitar for quite a while. I
mhm.
was 14
Oh,
when I picked up the guitar, and
got
that
it.
was I was always interested in music, but I didn't quite know that I was like going to play an instrument.
Sure,
I
sure.
was 14,
Right.
but I
So
used
you
to
were
sing. I used to quietly sing. You know.
because you were so shy? Is that what it
Yeah,
was?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. And
But
you
I did
do.
on the couch and sing with the brush.
And I'm sure you had an audience, really? Yeah.
Not so much. Maybe like, sometimes my family or like my cousins would ask me to sing, but yeah, it would take a little bit for me to do it.
Because I you guys, when she first came on, and as you can probably tell, she's such a soft, quiet soul. She has this sweet spirit, and I told her that. She says, "Yeah, people tell me that all the time." So it is apparent that you would consider yourself more of an introvert. Yes,
It's kind of both.
both
It depends. Like if we
depends
were
on
hanging
which.
for a while, and I'm
Yeah.
sure, because yeah, it's kind of both. I would say it's both,
Wow.
but I don't
Okay.
like kind of come out there like,
No,
but
I get it. No, I
you
can
know
see
what I
you. Mm-hmm. I can see
mean?
that. I can see that. And it's so amazing too that you know when interviews have legs of their own, and they just go into this authentic direction. Because one of the things that I wanted to ask you was, so did you sing before you started playing guitar? And that came out, and somehow I already knew that because you are such an amazing singer. You really,
Thank you.
really are. Yes, you are. What were some of the songs? I'm just curious. What were some of the songs that you found yourself singing? Do you remember?
Let me think about it for a second. I haven't thought about that for a minute.
Yeah.
So I've got three older siblings that my sister's like 8 years older than me, my brother's 10, and the eldest is 12.
Yeah.
So they were really listening to people like Mariah Carey and Toni Braxton. In fact, my first CD I ever got was from my eldest brother, was Secrets, Toni Braxton.
Got it.
So I was singing that. My other brother loved Janet Jackson, so that was playing. And then my mum loved music like Gladys Knight and Randy Crawford. She was
Mhm.
really into you know singers like that.
Yes.
So I would just sing whatever they were listening to.
Ah. So it was kind of like by default. You
Yeah,
would just sing what you heard.
yeah, and they all listened to good music. I had quite a variety around me.
Mm. But
Mm. But I do remember singing that Toni Braxton album.
the whole album?
Oh yeah, singing that whole thing. And then
Yeah, it was a great one. Yeah.
one of my other brothers, he would be listening to all kinds of music, and then my mum would be like, "No, don't play her that." And then his response would be, "But she likes it."
Aw. So are any of your other siblings musically? Um,
No, not.
you? Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So at 14, you began playing guitar. Why the guitar? Why no other instrument? Why that?
It just happened to be there. My cousin was actually, her and her family were immigrating from South Africa.
Yeah,
And so they stayed at our place for like a few weeks or so while they were getting themselves situated. And
got it.
she had an acoustic guitar.
Ooh.
And I think she might be 1 or 2 years older than me. And
Hmm.
I remember saying like, "Oh, can I play that?" And she was like, "No, it's not a toy." And I was like, "Come on, like just play it." And after a while, she like let me try it. And I remember just playing a few notes, and I just felt like I could figure melodies out like almost instantly.
Wow.
And I remember going like running to the living room to say, "Mom, like I want a guitar. Like, can you get me a guitar?" And she was just kind of like, "Okay, well, let's just see if you're serious about it."
I
And sure,
understand.
yeah.
Oh,
And then
wow.
got it. That was basically it. And I just started immediately doing classical guitar.
Ooh, wow. So can you play anything other than the guitar, though?
I
From
play bass. Like I play bass
I
on a few
figured.
songs on
Mhm,
Silver Lining,
mhm.
um, and I do little production stuff like keyboards and stuff like that, and
Sure.
drum programming. But I would say like I wouldn't do a show playing bass, but I can record. Like I'll record my bass parts. But I've played like 1 or 2 songs on a stage on bass, but
Ooh.
I don't go around saying I'm a bass player. Put it that way.
Aw. I
I
bet
can
you're
play.
great at it. I bet you're great at it. Because you are an amazing guitarist, and I'm. I mean, I'm a fan now.
Awesome.
I'm definitely a fan, and I'm sure there are tons and tons of comments that are up here, and I want to at least bring a few. Everybody is speaking. Martin Higgs from the UK. Hey, Martin, good to have you on board. And Ron Ledford, uh, he's here with us as well, and my good friend Colleen. All of these people help support the show. Mike Johnson, he has popped in from Palm Springs, California. Thank you so much for coming in. And there's more, there's a lot more. Ron said, wow, he loves Randy Crawford. She has a rich sound. And I know he's talking about the album Rich and Poor, but I
Mm,
do love Randy Crawford. Um,
mm.
and um, Mike Mike also said she does have a sweet spirit. Oh, that's about you. You've got a sweet spirit, but when she writes, sings, and plays, it reflects her passion. So, do you know Mike Johnson?
I recognize his name. He's on my Facebook. Yeah,
Ah,
and I
gotcha.
know he's listened to Silver Lining. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Gotcha. I know. So we've got lots of guests that are popping in. Before I go to break, I want to at least have you thinking about this one thing, and I do love. Well, maybe I'll have you answer it before we go to break. So I know you're degreed in music. Is that correct?
Hmm.
So you went to school for that. Um, if you couldn't do music, what would you be doing right now?
I was actually going to study biology.
Oh,
Yeah, that was I actually only decided to study music in my final year of high school. Yeah,
oh,
I was
okay.
always really into sports science. Um, so that was originally my plan was to study
Ah,
biology. I was
got
always really
it.
interested in the body, and so that was what I was gonna do. And then something just because, like I said, I played classical guitar,
Mhm.
and I did that for 4 years, and then I started hearing people like Earl Clue
Mhm.
and George Benson. because my mom and my dad like love those artists. And then there was the New Zealand School of Music visited my high school to do a performance and try and raise awareness for jazz and like, hey, come to our university. So
Okay.
they came and did a performance, and I was like blown away, especially like everyone taking solos. And that day, I remember speaking to the lecturer, the main lecturer that visited the school, and I said, "Oh, what does it take to get into your university? Because I don't really know anything about jazz in terms of playing, like you know." And he said, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "I play classical guitar." And he asked me, "What grade are you?" I said, "Grade 8." He goes, "Don't worry, you'll be fine. Just go and audition." And but he wasn't completely right, because there was a whole audition process. Like, you had to play this song, you had to do a transcription, you had to do all these
Oh,
things.
wow. Yeah.
And fortunately, my music teacher like looked up what I needed to do, and I just quickly, as fast as I could, learned what I needed to learn, and it was all just yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. So yeah.
Wow. I can feel it. It's truly passionate, and um, I just wanted people to hear you, because I think I had mentioned your name to a couple of people, and they said, "Why does that name sound familiar?" I said, "You'll know after I have an interview," and it just it was just in me to just continue to play your music over and over, even while I sat at work today at my desk. Your music was going,
Mm,
and uh, like I said, one of my favorite. Now I like Tribe, I really do. I love that one. There's something about fire, and
mm,
I'm before I start talking about the CD, which is really why you're here. Just kind of wanted people to know a little bit about who you were. I want to take a quick break, and then when we come back, definitely going to chat a little bit more. And we've got the coveted music premiere. Definitely don't want you guys to go too far. So, Andrea, just hang out for a minute or two. We'll be back with all of you. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing the live and letting everybody know that Andrea Lisa is here with us tonight. We'll be back in just a little bit with more on Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide. The Platinum Agencies is taking the indie brand. Late Night is still making noise. Composer keyboardist Jesse J.T. Jazz Thompson, along with Billboard charting saxophonist Judah Seeley, collaborators of the music masterpiece Late Night, available now on all digital platforms. I'm Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of the indie platform Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide, where the artist shares their story and I premiere their latest release. Connect with Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide here, live from New York City. The Loft, every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on, join the indie community. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. And if you are just popping in, I do appreciate you coming and listening to the interview with my special guest, Andrea Lisa, guitarist, composer, singer, songwriter, all of that. And she has a beautiful new CD. If you stick around long enough, you're going to hear at least one of the tracks that I'm going to premiere tonight. But before we get to the music premiere, I wanted to ask you. So, we know that you're traveling all over the world, but that there was a you prior to the you that you are right now. So, prior to you traveling worldwide, globally, actually, can you remember, like, what was that significant turning point for you? Because I know you had a, was it a quartet that you
Yeah.
had established. Yeah.
Hmm.
And sh- kind of incorporate that a little bit, segueing, if you could, into um, like that first big, as most people say, that first big break, that thing that just blew the doors off. But
Hmm.
you had your own band prior to
Hmm.
all of this. Talk about the collaborators in your band and the why and the trajectory you were headed with that band before that first big opportunity came for you.
Mm. So when I finished university, um, I immediately started my own band, and I asked those band members if they would be willing to. I went through a few different guys and settled on three guys, all from my hometown, Auckland. Two of them I studied with, and I asked them if they would quit all their jobs and any other bands that they were in to just kind of
Whoa.
commit to my band. And these three crazy dudes were like, okay, let's do it.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a bit it was a bit of pressure because I asked them, and then one of the guys, I think he was already teaching at about five different schools. How
Whoa.
musicians kind of like they teach here on a Tuesday and then they teach here on a Wednesday, and
Right.
he had like five jobs or something, and he was like, "Are you sure you want me to do this? Like, am I quitting all of these jobs?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "No, no, I need you to be really like sure here. Am I doing this? Because once you tell me, I'm going to." And then I was like, "Yeah, okay, just do it. I'm doing mine. Like the other guys are quitting their jobs. Let's do it." And then we moved over to Brisbane, Australia. We had done a few shows in Auckland. And to answer your question about like that moment, it kind of started almost immediately in that first year of starting my band. We would do some shows, and I remember just getting the feeling, just that feeling after, playing a song that just went really well, or at the end of the show and people asking for an encore. I just knew that that was what I needed to do. And so then we moved over to Australia. My parents were gracious enough to have the whole band in the house.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and we used to practice every day. We stayed there for like close to a year. And during that time, at some point, we got an opening act for Jonathan Butler to do a support act for him. So that was another awesome moment. And I remember speaking to Jonathan and asking him, like, do you have any words of advice or anything? And he said, we were in New Zealand for his New Zealand show, and he said, yeah, just get out of here. Like, you need to go somewhere else.
Hmm.
New Zealand's small, and so
Mhm.
I remember, okay, just we'll keep moving. And yeah, we used to do shows in Sydney and Melbourne and Perth, and then we started doing performance contracts. So we traveled to Dubai and we played in a hotel for 6 months.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, and then
That had to be surreal.
I know it was cool. We each had our own apartment and just kind of, you know, and then we kind of funny story. We met this French guy who was at the hotel and was like, "You guys should come to France. I'll get you a contract out there." And it just kind of went like that. So instead of going home, we went straight to France. Then we freelanced around there for I don't know 7 or 8 months, and then from there we went onto a cruise ship for 3 months, and we just continued to play and play and play. But in 2011, I did do an EP. So I had that. So when we were in Dubai and when we were in France, I was selling this EP. It's an EP called So Sweet.
Yep.
So yeah, we just kind of went from contract to contract, And in between that, we would go back to New Zealand, go back to Australia, do a run of shows,
Got
and then
it.
maybe go back on a contract and just keep playing.
Keep going.
We played a lot. We did that for about 7 years.
Wow. Was
Yeah.
it was it at any point in time? I mean, that's you know that takes great faith. I don't care what anybody says because there's so many who say, music, you can't make money in entertainment, and you guys just took the bull by the horn and you said,
Hmm.
I'm doing this. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Was there at any point a time where, you were thinking otherwise, or did you not even entertain that? You just barreled through and you just kept moving forward.
90% of the time, I was like just moving forward, doing the thing, not really, changing my thoughts. There
Sure.
was like maybe 1 or 2 times I was just like, whoa, this is really hard. Um,
Oh,
but in terms of money, you're right. We basically we made sure that we all earned money constantly. I've never, people have asked me like, what's your side job? Or I'm
sure.
like, I've never had a job outside of music in my life.
What?
Since I started doing music, I've never ever.
Had to do a side
No.
job? Now that's a blessing. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because many are working 9 to 5s, hustling and getting in rehearsals,
Oh
planning
yeah.
out everything, taking time off for vacation just to do maybe some special show or something. That's a
Oh yeah.
blessing. Yeah.
I've seen it even in LA. Like, some artists who are doing some big shows, they're still doing Uber and on the side and stuff. I
Hmm.
saw that when I first moved to LA, and I was like, oh wow. But I always looked at it in from an angle where if I want to make some money, I'm gonna make sure it's still within music, and that's where cruise ships were great. Like, cruise ships paid for my visas and all those things, because that is not that's a whole other story.
It
Those
is. Yeah.
That's big
Yeah.
stress and a big expense. But yeah, when we were working on cruise ships, it can be really good for saving, because you're barely spending any money while you're on there.
Wow. Wow. I have a question from Rose Lady. She wants to know what brought you to the States.
So in 2017, I
Yeah.
was I found out that they were having, the jazz cruises on the same cruise line that I used to work on, Celebrity Cruises.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was always like, I've been a huge fan of Kirk Whalum for years. I was introduced to his music when I was about 16 through my brother, and I found out he was going to be on that ship. So contacted my agent, like, hey, can you get us onto this ship during this time? We kind of
I
did the
love it.
choice, and he was
Mhm.
like, yeah, you're gonna have to be on for 6 months if you want to do that. I was like, okay, yep, we'll do it.
Oh, didn't take long for that answer, did it?
Yeah, it's a long time to be on a ship, but I was
It is.
willing to, and when I got on there, I was expecting to play, and my manager had said, like, all right guys, as you know, we're doing these charter cruises, so you guys can just sit back, enjoy the music. We might need you for a half an hour here and there to, like, stand at a door or something like that. Like, yeah,
What?
but you're still going to get paid, and you don't have to do anything for the next 7 weeks. And we were like, all these musicians and artists and cast members were just like, yeah, that's awesome. And the manager's like, go and enjoy the music, guys, have fun, enjoy yourself.
Sure.
And not me. I was like, what did you say? We don't get to play? He was like, no, 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 all the stages are taken up. Like, these guys even brought on their own speakers and sound equipment. They're not, and he explained to me, these people have hired the ship out, and they've hired our staff, but we're not in control of anything at this point. they are the boss. Like our cruise director is no longer the cruise director. They have their
Mm.
own cruise director. And I was like, what? So we don't get to play? He was like, nope. And I
Oh,
was like, no, there's got to
oh,
be another way. So I found the cruise director, their cruise director, and I like asked him if we could play. And he was like, no, no, no. He was like, no, we have
oh.
all of our venues full. And I was just, any moment I saw this guy, I was like, hi, like, can I play? Can I play? He was like, no. And
What?
then, yeah. And at the end of the week, I mean, there was people like Marcus Miller, Layla Hathaway,
I
Candy
get
Dove
it.
was on here. It was like, they're not, he wasn't interested in anyone who was like on the ship.
Ah,
Like, he's
yeah.
like, no, we have shows planned here. And then one day I saw him. It was like a late night kind of thing, and I think it was Candy Dulfer was playing on one of the big stages, and I went and I just stood next to him. I'd already given him my CD and all of that. At this point, he was just kind of ignoring me and avoiding me. And I went and I stood next to him, and Nate Phillips was playing bass, and he kind of looked over at me and he goes, "Nate Phillips, like what a great bass player." And I
Hmm.
said, "Yeah, he is. I've met him before." Kind of looked at me like, "No, you haven't." Like, and
Oh,
then I was like, "Yeah, I have." He played with Jonathan Butler, and I was, I happened to be Jonathan Butler's support act out in New Zealand. And he goes, "Really? Jonathan Butler, this and that." And then I was just like, "Yeah, I did that." And then the next day, my schedule came, and I had a set.
no
But
way.
yeah, he just, he was like, "Okay, fine, I'll give you a set." And then at that point, I'd already met a few awesome artists throughout the week. We were like towards the end of the week. And Kirk Whalum, my favorite, one of them,
Mm.
already said like, "Hey, like, nice to meet you guys. Let's hang out sometime." And a lot of the artists, Peter White and
Yep.
Jay Williams was on there. They were
Hmm.
like so sweet, and they gave us their room numbers, like, "Hey, let us know if you're ever gonna play." So I called them up. I was like, "Hey, I'm doing a set at this time, blah blah blah." So a lot of these musicians came to the set,
No
and
way.
that was when Kirk Whalum like came up to me afterwards and was like, "We got to do something together." And finally, when I got back home to New Zealand after that 6 month contract, I ended up getting an email from him saying, "I'd like you to play a solo on my album, Humanity." And I was like, what? So he said, just record the tracks and send them over to me. And I was like, this is like my favorite musician. I'm not going to do that. Like, I want to be in the studio. So I replied to him and I was like, I'm actually going to go to the States next year. And he was like, when? Like, and I was just, I was just winging it. I was like, let's go around this time. And he was like, no, I'm doing it in March. I was like, yep, okay, I'll be there in March. And so I took a flight to Memphis, and I thought I was just gonna, play a solo or something.
Sure, sure.
I'm doing one of my own songs, a song called Get Your Wings Up. And that song happened to be his first single for Humanity. And basically, yeah,
Wow.
when I was in Memphis, and then I decided to visit LA for a few weeks. And it was towards the end of that year. Then Kirk Whalum and I used to send a few messages here and there. I used to
Hmm.
send him songs like, "Oh, I just wrote this song. What do you think of this song?" "Oh, great, great, great." And one day I sent him a song, and he just loved it. And a few days after that, he said, "How would you like to go on tour with me?" And I was like, um, yeah.
Wow.
And that's
Wow.
how I started the visa process at that point. Yeah, and that's how I ended up in the States.
Well, actually, that was, again, authenticity always takes trump, right? It trumps everything. And so, I certainly wanted some lead ins, but now or later, I just wanted to know how the collaboration happen. And so our good friend, Rose Lady, threw that out there. And I'm just so happy that she did because that was because I have one more break though.
Mm,
I've got to take. And so I'll go beyond that because that definitely was a part of the okay, so how'd this happen? And so,
mm.
I've seen you on stage and you're just on fire when you're with him. It's just such a great collaboration when I see you two out there together. So I wanted to take this last break because now I wanted to lead into the new project, um, all things music concerning you, your project, and the coveted music premiere. So listen, please sit tight, okay? And you guys don't you go away. I've got so much more in just a short time to do it, but I promise you it'll be worth your wait. We'll be back with more of our special guest, Andrea Lisa, on Unsigned Artists Reveal Worldwide. I'm Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of the indie platform Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide, where the artist shares their story and I premiere their latest release. Connect with Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide here, live from New York City. The Loft, every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on, join the indie community. The Platinum Agencies is taking the indie brand to the next level with customized strategies that includes interviews on Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide and promotional campaigns on social media. Listen to what these artists have to say about us. Daryl Anders of Agape Soul says Sabrina Taylor has created a brilliant platform to showcase unsigned and independent artists. She's been a great resource for increasing awareness and helping me to build my brand. International guitarist Gary Purcell says Unsigned Artists Reveal Worldwide offers a platform for unsigned artists to showcase and put themselves in a position where people can have an opportunity to learn about the artist in an up-close and personal setting. Sabrina Taylor does a great job making you feel comfortable and can really present the artist well to the audience. And it does not hurt that she has a smooth voice. The Platinum Agencies, better known as TPA, brand ambassador for indie artists on social media. Connect with the Platinum Agency at gmail.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to the last portion of the show. We're definitely going to dig in and pick the brain of Andrea Lisa. We want her to tell us about the new project that she has out. It is so amazing, and you're just strutting across that cover, girl. You look so fly. I said, look at her. She and you're hanging on to that guitar. Definitely know that it's a passion for you, and I want to start um, asking you some questions about that. So, Silver Lining, that's the new project. Now, you did share already that you have an EP that's out, and it's a singles market. And I ask artists this a lot. I mean, uh, what what was the idea behind sharing a long playing project versus it being another EP or just a single? Why a CD now at this point?
Honestly, when so I write a lot.
Oh,
I Songwriting is like a huge passion for me.
yeah,
I've spent quite a few years just writing songs.
got it.
And a few years back, 2019, somebody who I really admire, a producer, guy named Kevin Teasley had told me, like, it's cool, but what you're doing is cool, but you should really get into production. It's really important that you get into production. Because
Gotcha.
I showed him some of my demos, and at that point, I used to just do vocals and guitar. And I was like, okay, cool, this is this new song that I wrote. And he said to me, get some bass on there, get some drums, even if you program them, like just get some keyboards, like because you have to show people, if you're presenting your songs, you have to show people how it's going to sound. And from
Oh,
that point, I started getting into production, and then my catalog just started building and building, and I just wanted to get this music out there. And that's why I
mhm.
didn't want to do an EP. I mean, Vortex was a single, and Golden Hour, Like Each
Right.
Other.
That's
That was the,
right. Mhm.
and I was just ready to release a body of work because
Um,
I feel I just want to get these songs out there.
yeah.
And I know people aren't like doing too many albums. Some people are just doing single after
That's
single
right.
after.
Yep. That's right.
But I feel it's important to showcase a group of songs and like kind of tell a
A
story. Give
story. I know, right?
yeah, more of an experience. Like I want you to listen to the whole album and just kind of yeah, not like a playlist. Because I remember listening to an album top to bottom and it's so cool.
Me too. Me too. And discovering things.
Mhm.
And your CD, Silver Lining, tells a story. Um, and as I was saying, when you first popped in and we were setting up the audio and lighting and just making sure all was well, one of the things, fam, that I said to her is that I really appreciated that she started this CD out with a vocal track. And, you know, some artists that, there's, and this is not to demean their gift, but because it's such a crowded field, sometimes there are just gimmicks that have to be done to capture the attention. Because as you and I were chatting about, is that it's a crowded field and there's so much music, and the single comes after the next single comes after the next single. But when you're telling a story, that means somebody's attention has to be attached to what you're doing. But you don't have to use gimmicks to keep the attention of anybody, because your project is so passionate. And just from hearing the vocal from track one, I said, I love that she did that. You're showcasing that you're not just a writer, you're not just a guitarist, but you can sing. You can really, really you have such a sweet timbre, such good control. Your tone is rich. I love it. And I just like to hear you sing, period.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I do. So there's about what, 12 to 13
12
tracks?
songs.
Yes. And so who were the collaborators on this project? Were there any that we
I
can?
worked with one producer on 4 songs.
Mhm.
That was Gordon Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah, amazing drummer and producer. So he was on Vortex, Golden Hour,
Ah,
Fire, and Beautiful World. And other than that, I produced the rest of the songs, and we produced those ones together. Um, I actually have quite a small group of musicians that are on this album. So the few musicians that I did work with, they played on like a few songs. So, but somebody who I'm like, there's a few really awesome artists on there. Melvin Lee Davis plays bass on Tribe. Melvin
ah,
is Shaka Khan's bass player and MD. And so he just killed that. Yeah, I love the way so that was actually I wrote the bass line, and
oh,
and he just came in and just did his thing and, added the sauce to that bass line. And Who else do I have on there? I have Hamilton Harden, who is an amazing producer and multi instrumentalist,
Wow.
and yeah, just basically a few. I'm trying to think who else is. I don't really have anyone who really features on the album as
That's
a
okay.
as a
Yeah,
special guest or anything.
sure.
Um,
Sure.
I was
Sure.
going to, but it just kind of ended up this way where um, there weren't any special guests really.
Right. Right.
But they're
Right.
all special guests to me. Whoever plays
Yes.
on these songs are just amazing, amazing players.
Wow. You have, I believe, for me, this is one for the books. This CD is one I suggest that you guys just keep on replay. Um, Not many CD players in cars anymore. That's the I hate that. But
Yeah.
I just keep playing it and keep playing it. And I when you sent Tribe over, I said, okay, so there is a title track, and I kind of like that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I said, okay. So I kept playing it and I kept playing it. And of course, as I shared, I put together a video to go. Just it's exclusive to Unsigned Artist Reveal, you guys. It's not something that she brought on board. But as you guys know, when there is a song presented, I also like to kind of give you guys a visual while you're listening to it. You're gonna love Tribe, and I really like it. Share with us, set up that song for us. What's the inspiration behind Tribe?
Um,
Mhm.
when I wrote that, it was maybe I think it was the beginning. I think I wrote it about 2 years ago,
Ooh, okay.
and I wanted to. I mean, I didn't. It's not really intentional. It just kind of happened that it had a bit of an African flavor in the beat,
Yep,
you know,
yep.
and I I felt like it was very like everything just kind of flowed. Like even just that melody, it just when songs happen that way,
Yeah.
it's just such a magical experience because sometimes you write a song and you kind of workshop it and you go, okay, well, what can I put here? But then sometimes you go and you start playing and then the next melody just flows through. I feel like it's like a spiritual download. And that was one of those songs that just kind of came to me and just kind
Ooh.
of came out of the guitar and I
Wow.
just I actually want that song. I actually wrote it on Logic, so
Ah,
I was right there with my recording system and just kind of did everything in one night. I was just kind of inspired by the groove and the feel, and just got that melody and yeah.
it's such like an inspiring groove. It's light, and you just want to keep listening to see what else is coming. And I love it. It's the kind that you put on with the top down, and definitely like the Afro beats
Mm,
that's laced in there. And I'm hearing a lot of music now in the US kind of incorporating the
mm,
Afrobeat sound. And I love it. I really
yeah.
do. And so, everybody, I want to present the music premiere of our special guest, Andrea Lisa. It's called Tribe. So, hearts up, emojis, share your, give us your feedback. I think you're really, really going to love this. If there are music and program directors and DJs that are on, I want you to really incorporate this on your playlists. I think that she's got a good one here. Matter of fact, the whole CD is just doggone good. But tonight we're going to premiere the song called Tribe. So I'll see you back here in about 4 minutes and like 24, 25 seconds, okay? I hope you guys enjoy it. See you in just a little bit. Well, there are so many comments. You got to go back and see them. Oh,
Okay.
there are so many. This is such a beautiful piece. Um, Rose Lady made a statement that I totally agree with that I do want to post. She said, very unique sound. Love the different attributes added. But there was another one that I can't find. There's so many that are up here. But thank you, Gregory Beasley. He says the visuals complement the track nicely. He says ultimate entertainment. Hey, DJ CD. He says I'm on an island enjoying this vibe. Nice. Absolutely, it does. It takes you away to a beautiful island, just breezy, easy breezy. You know, no stress, just away from all of the hustle and the bustle, and you just do it so effortlessly, and I'm loving it, and so are they. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes indeed, yes indeed. So you're not, are you focused on any one particular track, or just the release of the entire CD?
It's really the release of the entire CD,
Yeah.
but Tribe is heading out. I mean, I think yesterday or today it goes out to radio.
Oh, you're kidding. See?
Yeah. And
Okay.
maybe I'll share this good news. I just received an email this morning saying that it has had a very good start and that it's number two, second most added.
Shut.
I
Look
know.
at,
I
look
was
at
like
that lady.
rustling around and I just ran to go give him a big hug. I was like, it's the second most added. It's just started. Yeah. So that is yeah, one of the songs that will have a little extra attention.
Yes, it will. And I can see why. Absolutely, I can see why. Well, I want to say it ahead of the crowd. Congratulations, my friend. This is
Thank
a
you.
beautiful, yes, it is it definitely deserves radio airplay. I think it's Sirius XM ready, myself. I really do. And I'm just hoping that because once it gets there, everybody else follows. You know how they do it. Oh, if Sirius says it's good, it's good. So, but it's a great song, and I am so happy for you. What do you want people who just learned about you? Because there are a lot of people who just seeing your face and hearing your music tonight, they are jumping on board and they're loving the vibe that you have, your music. What do you want them to walk away with?
Honestly, the intention that I put into each and every one of these songs, it's all about healing
Ooh.
and love. So it doesn't matter what I'm singing about or playing, the intention is really to make people feel good and to lift up their spirits.
Mm.
So that's really, I really hope that if anyone is not having a great day or going through something, if they can listen to this music and if it just makes them feel a little bit lighter, a little bit better, then I'm happy. That's all I want.
Oh wow. I think I think that's attainable. I think that's going to happen. And I'm putting the hub up, which the website is andrealisa.com. We want you to connect there, and it's all things Andrea Lisa. So whether Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, are you on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Are you on
I
TikTok?
am.
Whatever you go, look for Andrea Lisa, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be able to find her.
And
Um,
if people would like an actual physical copy, because like you said, they don't have the CDs in the car, but there's a lot of people out there who still want the CD. If you would
yeah.
like to get the CD, go on to andrealisa.com and where it says store, click on that and you can order your physical copy and it'll be shipped out to you. anywhere in the world. So just go on there if you'd like a CD. And I have some other merch up there as well.
Sure, sure. Please visit her hub. It's right there in front of you. And, well, don't leave the show yet. Just write it down next to you and then visit her, unless you're on a laptop and you can click on a different tab. But most of us are probably utilizing our handhelds to watch the show. But take note of the hub. Go on, get that CD, the merch, just learn more about her. And you are totally, you are worth the wait. And I know you're tired. You're probably just wanting to lay down again and get some more sleep. But you guys, it's morning where she is, and it's a whole nother day um, in Australia. And so I just want you to have safe travels coming back to the States, and just congrats on everything, your connectivity. You've worked hard for it. I can tell that. And it's apparent that you're really talented. So we're looking for more music to come out of you. Yes?
Yes, yes. More.
Yes, we are. Well, listen, I appreciate you while you're out of the country, coming on board and chatting with us and letting us hear your music and having me share with my family who love you. So if you get an opportunity, go onto the Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide page, Andrea, and then yeah, find the chat and just go in there and just respond, because there's some things in
Mm-hmm.
there I wasn't able to put up for them
All right,
to
we'll do.
share, if you could do that. But
Yes.
again, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure and an honor to have you on our platform.
Oh, thank you for having me. I had a great time. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. Well, everybody, I want to thank you too. There's so many other podcasts and other things you could be doing, but you chose to come and just share this hour with us, and we so appreciate it. Andrea, please, if you could hang out for just a moment before we go, I just want to thank all of you who are sharing and all of you who are repurposing all of my, especially Rose Lady and Colleen. I think there are others, and I really shouldn't have just called names, but I am so happy that you guys are sharing and you're encouraging others to come on. And it's all about the indie artists. I just want to thank you, because I couldn't do this if it were not for you. Got some special things coming up. Also, don't forget on Sundays, the Loft. That is one of my special things. This Sunday, Kevin Whalum is going to be featured at 4 p.m. Eastern on the Loft, and I'm super excited about having the Unsigned Artist Reveal in New York. And see, it's right behind me. So you speak what you want to see. Yes, and it shall come to pass. And I'm just so happy to have a presence in New York City. So listen, remember, what you make happen for others, God will make it happen for you. I love you guys, and I will see you next Monday. Special guest, not going to tell you who, but you take care, and I'll see you soon. Right?